Speaking of second-year things, it's the second year of the SFL. This next topic is something I needed Tyvis for. Tyvis, a pretty common phrase in sports or theory in sports, way of thinking at least, is that guys make the biggest jump in their career between years 1 and 2. So after their rookie season, entering their sophomore season. There's a couple guys in the Browns who are expected to play major roles this year, who were good as rookies, solid as rookies, and are now expected to be major contributors. You played in the NFL. You were once a rookie. You played 4 years.
Man, that was such a lifetime ago.
Why do you think, and/or do you believe it's true or not, that players make the biggest jump in their careers from the end of their rookie seasons to the beginning of their second seasons?
Well, I think it is true because it's like anything. Once you go through something once, you know what to expect the year two. So, as a rookie, you coming in, depending on if you're a highly drafted guy, they're throwing you right in the lineup, stuff like that. So you're trying to figure out, A, are you good enough to even be in the NFL? So you got to build that confidence over that first season. So a guy like, Martin, who came in as a third round, fourth round pick, I think, obviously he got his feet wet, made some plays. He got that confidence knowing that he's good enough to belong in here. So next thing that the player is trying to juggle is the playbook, because obviously plays change from college to the NFL. There's much more structure to it. So he's trying to figure out, okay, now I got to make sure that I know what I got on certain plays. The pieces is moving. This ain't like going to take a history test. The pieces move. You got to know all the checks and adjustments. So now you're trying to make sure that you got your checks and adjustments down pat and making sure that you actually playing the right thing. As you get towards the end of the season, you pretty much should have the playbook under down pack, so you know what to expect. You understand the game speed from college to the NFL. You understand that everybody in the NFL is really good. And I think the reason you can make the big jump the next year is because you don't have to come in worrying about, are you good enough? You have that answer. You don't have to come in worrying about, do I know the playbook? You should have that down pack, even though for him it is a different playbook. But Jim Schwartz is running cover one dang near 95% of the time, so he's really dumbing it down for those people. And now you're able to look at formations and get a tail sign of what is to come. Now I'm not worried about what I got. I'm worried about what this offense is coming out in. What formation is it? Who in my guard? What routes can I expect? Like, you can expand the brain, so now you're able to jump things and make more plays because you can anticipate what's coming. So I think that a lot of the times is why you see the biggest jump from year 1 to year 2, because now you have the little things down packed, and now you can anticipate the game and understand what's about to come.
Let me ask you this, because I always thought about this in terms of like your life cycle. When you're a younger player, like, you just worried about, like, I don't know where my apartment is, how much money I'm gonna get paid, do I have money, do I need tickets, like, do I need to, like, what, things like that, just everyday little, like, living stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And like, you played on good teams where they had veterans and guys had Super Bowl aspirations on those rosters. Mm-hmm. When you were like, how do veterans get young dudes who they know gonna have to contribute locked in, playing with a sense of urgency when they got their whole career in front of them? Like, they got everything in front of them. You trying to win, you trying to get playing time. You want to be an All-Pro. You might want to go to the club. You might want some girls. You might like all these different things that is a life cycle. But some players are gonna be at the end of that life cycle where they like, I done already got all this, and I need you to locked in and have the same level of tomorrow ain't guaranteed type feeling. How do they go about that in their life?
So it's certain ways, like from being in Seattle, obviously, I'm with the LOB, and how they go about business is, everybody that comes in, they're going to groom them and make sure that you understand the culture that we set here. So if I'm a rookie and I'm coming in and they have a thing where everybody tags off on the ball. If I'm a rookie and I don't go tag off on that ball, then you better believe that Sherm, Bobby, Cam, somebody coming to say something to me. Hey, young blood, young rook, this is how we do it. Go tag off on that ball. I don't care where it's at. Go touch that ball. So you got these older guys that's setting the standard and holding these younger guys to it. When it comes to, partying and clubbing and whatnot, they don't really, it's not really a lot that they say, for that. It's about you could do what you want to do, but make sure when we get on this field, you locked in, okay? Like I'm not going to tell you not to party and whatnot. It's a bunch of veterans in the NFL who I know that don't drink during the season. Mm-hmm. They don't do nothing during the season. You know, they have their fun in the off season, but during the season, they're not going to consume alcohol or anything like that. You know, that's the veteran way. But obviously these young guys who got a pocket full of money, you know, they want to get out there and see, you know, what new fish I can catch. You know, I can go pop bottles in the club and do stuff like that. You know, it's fine as long as you're handling your business. As long as you're not affected by football or it's not affecting your game, then it's cool. And a lot of guys do a pretty good job of handling that because they understand the opportunity that is being presented. Now, when I went to San Francisco, that was more of a younger crowd. Everybody was around my age, so these guys was going out all the time. I was seeing guys get. If we made $16,000 for that week, he'd go out and spend $16,000. He was getting the check, blowing the check. That's the type of stuff they was on. But the difference was he partied a lot, but when it came time to put that work in, he was up 7 in the morning doing workouts, doing the extra stuff, making sure he did his film session. He got his work done. So like I say, you got to have a healthy balance where it's okay if you want to party and do all that other thing, but just know that football comes first, and you got to make sure that you're doing your work there.
During the season, like, because, like, you know, you see a lot of times, like, with last year we watched, like, they talked about it 100 times about getting on the same page, like defensive backs. Yeah. There's a lot of times that we see in the offseason the quarterback get guys together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, we going to run these routes so we got timing. I know how you moving. Like, is that something that DBs is doing as well?
No, and we should. You know, I just seen Darius Slay talking about
this.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy that the quarterbacks link, the receivers link, the tight ends link, but for some odd reason, DBs can't seem to find the time to link. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a few DBs that get together, you know, share games, share tips and stuff like that. But as far as a whole weekend or week where we just get together and share tips, I don't think that happens for DBs. But a lot of the times, you know, guys got trainers. That's the thing. Everybody got their own little trainer that they deal with. And like McNuggets got a guy, the footwork king. You know, he got guys that he comes in, you go to the footwork king and you just so happen Darius Slay is there and Aqib Talib is there. It's like that type of thing. Like they link up like that. So it's not something where it's a set destination for all DBs to go to. It's just we all mess with the same trainer. It's a guy named Oliver Davis who does a really phenomenal job of training DBs, and he trains them in the NFL, college, and high school and young kids. Really good guy. A lot of vets go to him because he understands the game and how you move and how you see the game.
You know, the reason I asked that question is, you see, like, with you know, I'll be in the lab. I would just be watching little football junkie stuff. like it'd be like, when you talk about, like, guys, like, you know, there's moving parts. You got Juan Thornhill. You had Grant Delpit, right? Mm-hmm. You got Newsome. You got Emerson. You got Ward. Like, these guys want to be, you know, I remember Newsome saying a couple of years ago when they were talking about going against the Cincinnati Bengals and how they felt like they had the number one secondary going against the number one, like, you know, receiving core. Yeah. And so when you got like 3 new guys like that, it just it reminds me, like, everybody don't be on that same type of time. Like the Legion of Boom, you said, right? All of them, like with Cam Chancellor and Brandon Browner and guys like that, and obviously Richard Sherman, like, it seems like they had a special thing where they was like, yeah, we all together. Like we not only our corners or our safeties, but I see a lot of teams don't do it like that. Like, you know, they literally was like, no, Earl Little and them, they was like, yo, this is what it is. How did they go about developing that? Or was just something like they was just like, because usually you get a corner, I'm the best corner. Or you get a safety, I'm the best safety. You don't get people saying we got the best secondary or the no-fly zone in Denver. How did they?
It's funny because I would ask Sherm that question. You know, how did this all happen? And you know, Sherm got there. He wasn't starting. Cam started. Earl was a first-round pick. Brandon Browner, they got him from the CFL, and he came in. He been dominant. But Sherm was the only one out of those 4 that really didn't start. You know, he only started because I think Marcus Trufant got hurt in the game, and somebody went to went to nickel, and he came in, he played corner. So that's how he got his start. Obviously, he passed some good plays and he ended up starting for the rest of that season. But these guys were just dedicated. You know, those guys in particular, they all studied together. And that's the thing. A great secondaries, you gotta have somebody that force it. You know, like, listen, after practice DBs, we watching film or something like that. Or after practice, don't know DB go nowhere. We all doing extra drills. You need that one vocal guy that's gonna force it because he understands the importance of everybody being on the same page. If everybody's on the same page last year, we don't have people getting cut wide open in the secondary and giving up touchdowns. We don't lose the Jets game. With the Carolina game isn't close. We don't have things like that. You have to force it now. Juan Thornhill seems like he might be the guy to do that because he's been to the Super Bowl. He's been in some good, decent secondary. I ain't going to say Kansas City secondary is great. They have some decent secondaries. So he knows what it takes to get there. It's going to be up to him to get these guys, get Denzel, get Martin, and get Genu and get Dale Pitt all in the room together. The best way to learn is to see it and talk about it. We need to watch a game together and talk it out. How do you see it? What do you see on this formation? What are you thinking on this formation? So when we get to the game, now I know how he thinks. So now we can communicate because I already know what you think. If you see what I see, then we can see the same thing. We talking the same language. And I think that's the most key important part that I didn't think happened last year. You know, I was often told growing up that how can you tell it was a good defensive practice? The communication. They nonstop talking. Why is Fred Warner one of the best linebackers in the NFL? Because he talks nonstop. Fred will point out every single thing. When I played safety in San Fran in my one little start against the Raiders, my one little starter against the Oakland Raiders, it was things that I didn't see. So Fred would be on the left side of the formation. I'd be on the right side. You know what Fred would say? Hey, Tyvis, alert, alert. This number 3 is on the ball. Get ready for the over route. So I'm already looking at my own thing. He say that. I say, oh, okay. Ball is snapped. I see his pass. Guess what? My eyes go right to 3 because that's who I got. So you got to have guys that's communicating like that. And like I said, it's secondary. They got the talent. They just got to talk. They need to find the time to spend some time together in the film room and talk. It's not going to be enough because I don't know if they're doing it. Because a lot of teams do it like sometimes they do DBs all together. Some teams do corners in one room, safeties in another room. You got to keep them together, talk about it right there, but talk about it outside of this building. That's where you see J3 going crazy. Like, you know, a lot of guys leave the building and we don't do nothing after we leave this building.
That was crazy.
You got to keep talking about it because that's the only way everybody's going to be on the same page. That's what makes secondaries work out is everybody's on the same page. And to get to Martin Emerson, because I know that was a topic, you know, what's one thing that I can see Martin Emerson doing? If I was Martin Emerson and this was year 2 for me, don't let them limit you, bro. That at the end of the day, don't limit yourself. You know, if everybody's like, oh, you the 3rd best corner. No, forget that. Be the number 1 corner on this team because Denzel's already got his bag. Genu's trying to get his bag. There's no rule that says that you have to solidify yourself and be the 3rd corner. No, you can be the best cover corner on this team and ultimately be the best corner. I think what you need to do is take a step. You got the confidence. You made plays. You got a ton of PBUs. You went up against Mike Evans and shut him down, who's probably a Hall of Famer one day. So you got what it takes to play in this league. Don't let them tell you that you corner number 3 on this roster. Become corner number 1 on this roster and get your hands on some of them get picks. I'm sick of the PBUs. That's cool and all, and that's fine. That's like Denzel's thing. Denzel does a great job of playing the hands. Genu obviously still don't have a pick on this year. But if you can find a way to turn that ball over, take them balls and make them interceptions, then you call out your number out what you want, and they would you'll undeniably be the number 1 corner. So that's my advice to you. My challenge to you is to get some picks this year and don't limit yourself to being just coming in when it's nickel. Come in on base. That's what you really want to do.
Look at this insight you don't get from other places.
That was phenomenal, Titus.
Really great
Oh,
insight.
well, thank you. I appreciate
now,
that.
Now, we're going to wrap up this segment. We got a minute? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to give you some Tyvis Powell trivia from his playing career.
Oh, my God.
Did he got picks? Let me see if he got some picks.
No. All right, true or false? Tyvis played 18 games in the NFL.
Did I?
That's a lot.
Are you asking Tyvis or are you asking the chat?
No, I'm saying. I'm asking you guys.
Well, I should know the answer.
True or false? So Tyvis played 18 games in the NFL. True or false? None of those games were against the AFC North, an AFC North team. True or false? Tyvis answers last.
I know the answer.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say true. Tyvis would have told us. There's no way he's been on the show for over a year and hasn't brought up when I played the Steelers.
You never
the
know.
Ravens,
He's got a lot of secrets.
He played on the Browns, so that's the only AFC North like he would have got. But now I don't think he played against no AFC North teams. NFC man.
Tyvis, did you ever play against the AFC North?
In the regular season?
Correct.
No,
Yeah, preseason.
No, I didn't.
You did not. That's correct.
Nope.
I played the Bengals in the preseason. I played the Steelers in the preseason.
There you go. All right, but not in the regular season. Okay, true or false? Tyvis forced a fumble in the NFL.
True. He's told the story.
Yeah, come on, he got a turnover. He got a turnover.
It's a fact. I should have
Remember who it was against?
Yeah, it was against the Cardinals.
Right.
Yeah, and it should have been back to back because when I played Oakland the next week, I dropped a pick and it was unbelievable. It was.
I thought you had the best hand since Randy Moss.
Well, so this is the thing, Let me give some context on this. So, this is my first NFL start. So everybody that don't know, okay, the Cardinals game was the week before the Oakland game, right? So the Cardinals game, I forced the fumble, right? It's like 2 minutes left. I'm like, oh, yeah, we did it. I'm about to get in the media, and I'm about to tell everybody, I should have been playing all along, but, they trying to keep me on the bench. But you see what I do. I make plays when I come in the game. Unfortunately, that got killed because the game-winning touchdown got thrown on me. Shout out to Christian Kirk. I got you paid, baby. I need my cut.
Hey, wait.
Anyway.
That was from Josh Rosen,
Yeah,
right?
Josh Rosen threw a dime back of the end zone. We're not even going to go there, though. So I make the start next week. So I'm thinking I'm about to get cut at this point. I'm third-string safety anyways. I'm like, oh, they about to cut me. They about to bring somebody in. My boy Jeff Halfley, shout out to you, BC going to do their thing this year. He say, forget that, Tyvis, because we put you in a bad spot. We told you to play corner all week. We put you in the game at safety. You wasn't even prepared. I said, that's not an excuse. But anyways, he said, we're going to roll you out there. You're going to start safety. It's a Thursday night game against Oakland. Said, bet, let's go, let's do it, all right? So I make my first start. I come out the smoke. They say Titus Powell. I do the Sherm out the smoke. Sherm was mad, but that's neither here nor there. We get to the game, all right? It's all week I'm watching film. So usually I play the game during the week. I was playing the PlayStation. I didn't play the game at all. I watched iPad probably every day, all day, which was good because I got in the game and I knew exactly what was to come. So from film study, what I learned is they had this running back. I can't think of his first name, but his last name was Richard. When he came in, he was their receiving running back. Anytime he came in out the backfield and ran a route, 95% of the time he was running.
Wasn't it Chris Richard?
He played for the Raiders.
I don't care. Don't care what his name is. His last name is Richard. But anytime he came in the game, he was running 95%. It was an outward breaking route. 95% of the time, he was not going to run an inward breaking route out the backfield. On this particular play, I got matched up with him. Boom, he comes out the backfield. He give me this nice little hezzy, and faking inside like he was going. I took one step inside, but in my mind, I said, no, he's going outside. Boom, take the foot, break out of it, boom, come throw the ball. Derek Carr throws it. I lay out for the pick, which I shouldn't have did. I should have just ran through it, but I laid out for the pick. What y'all don't know is I broke my wrist in college, so I wore this big cast thing on my wrist, which allowed it to keep it from going back because my wrist don't go back. So when I did that, it's hard to catch the ball like this. So if I would have caught it like this, I would have been all right. But to catch it like this was harder. Tipped off my hands. The running back catches the ball, gets a 20-yard explosive. It was Sherm had to get it down in front of me, and that was that. So, yeah, that's what happened.
All right, final true or false?
Wait, and this last one's brought to us by PCC Airfoils because these facts have come from the interweb. If you're looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits, well, PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions, start at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more.
So the final true or false. So Tyvis started that one game in your last year playing in the regular season.
Yep.
And he played in 7 games that year, 1 start, which you won over Oakland.
Yes.
In the other 6 games that he played this season, the Niners were winless.
Is that true?
True or false?
I think it was true because I don't think he started getting no dubs until your boy started playing.
Jimmy G, right?
The quarterback.
Nick Mullins?
Nah.
Jimmy G?
Yeah, they ended the season.
You know
It's
what?
true.
Now that I think about it.
I think it is true.
Hold on, wait a minute. Because this year, you talking about the year I started.
Yep.
That year,
So that was the game that that was the year Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt in Minnesota. And then we lost to Kansas City, and then it just went bad from there. Did we win a game?
Nope.
Did we win a game? I think we finished that year like 4-12. Well, we won that game. That might be true. I think
That's
that is
very
true.
That's true.
Is it true?
It is true.
Okay, I'll have to say I think that because we
played that year. You played in weeks. What
Oh, yeah. After the Oakland game, I got cut. So I got cut. It's crazy. I had the best game. I had a really productive game. Everybody told me great job. That Tuesday came around, cut. But I ended up coming back like the last 2 games of the season.
You came back at the end, right? You played 2 more games after that. And you guys lost to the Bears 14-9.
Oh, that's when Tariq Cohen had that dang punt
was
return
good before
to
he got
the
hurt.
house. Oh my, it was pathetic.
And then you lost a wild one to the Rams 48-32.
Yeah, we was trying to at that point
You guys were getting killed.
Yeah, it was no point in winning the game. They wanted the better draft pick. We'd have won that game. We'd have had a lesser draft pick. So that's when the starters got pulled. The only saving grace of that year was George Kittle was trying to break the record, so they was force feeding him the ball that whole game. That's what happened that
He had a touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah.